Okay, so I've been thinking, and I thought, wow, there's a whole lot more happening behind the scenes than what I initially thought. So maybe I should do a recap video to get you guys up to speed on what the hell Silky's doing. Cause, yeah, I thought it was only a couple things, but really turns out, yeah, most of the stuff she does is just behind scenes, cause, yeah, reasons. So, here's the thing. I'm gonna try to make this quick. There's probably gonna be a lot of cuts in this video. Oh well, that's on me. One thing for a start. First, she started picking up whatever she could find around little critters, animals, near-death doohickeys, things that are just crushed and then moved on, like insects and whatnot. And just porta polo, throw that in the, corrupted swamp and move on. Why is she doing that? Two reasons. So, one, if it's gonna die, it's gonna die anyway. Might as well not leave it to die there. Two, if she's going to have something die, she might as well take a chance that the swamp, with the corruptive nature that it has, actually, by sheer luck, gives that thing a second life, or at least there's some kind of healing or something. And so she's been doing that for a good number of months now, and she's been doing that everywhere there's a little critter or something, or bird or whatever. If it's not dead, or if it's not wanted where it is, like, ooh, a spider, kill it. No, 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 it's cool, I got it. Just grabs, portal. Most of them die, but a very, very small percentage of them actually turn into things. And in all these things, a very small percentage is actually smart enough to understand what's going on. Some of them gain intelligence, so you're looking at like 1-ish% of whatever she throws in there comes out as actually smart enough to hold a conversation with you. A very dumb one, but still one. Like, they know basic colors, they know how to like smell things and put the square in the square. So, that kind of thing. So, with these people, and those very modified beings, those very corrupted beings, those humanoid-esque creatures, she started to make a group. That group is starting to be a group of friends that she sees as like children of sorts. Not her children, but like younger people with like very limited intelligence. They're still friends, but like, eh. And these people see Silky as some sort of entity that brought them to life, which is not there, but it's not too far from the truth. So anyway, they started to build a village, and Silky, when she goes to the swamp, because she still does that, she goes to the swamp every now and then, and she goes to that village, see what, like, if they need stuff, if they need food, if they need, like, weapons and whatever, and these people actually take care of themselves pretty okay. They do a little bit of farming with berries and whatnot. They do a little bit of hunting, because everything in the swamp wants to kill everything, because corrupted natures and all that. So they're doing okay. They're always going to accept her help, and that's that. Another thing is that Silky is also... she's always been in like the search of what corruption is, what it does, how it works, what's the origin point, if she can do anything actually good with it. She's still doing that. She's never stopped. It's just that it's something that I don't know how to just put into video and make it interesting. So she's doing that. It's happening. She's making very, 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 very slow progress, but it's something. It's going. With that, she's also growing a lot more than what you see in videos. What I mean is, she's getting abilities that she doesn't use. She essentially either learns these abilities with these people at the swamp, or she learns them by reading some books here and there, and it says like this form of corruption or taint or tainted or what have you can do whatever, and the records show blah blah blah. She follows that, tries things. Nothing that she does, she found on a book, but everything that she does is from something that she saw in a book. So it's like, oh, if you do X, Y, and Z, you will get an apple. She does X, Y, and Z, and she get a peach. And she's like, hey, I got something good enough. One of these is called. She has no name for it. She has no use for it, but I like it very much. It's called Seed of Corruption. What it does is it literally plants a seed of a plant. That plant is, much like Silky, pure, unadulterated corruption. That plant grows into the ground. It doesn't grow up. It doesn't grow far. It stays there. It's a little flower thingy, and it grows deeper and deeper and deeper. And the deeper it goes, the wider it reaches as it goes deep. And once it's reached a certain size, which she hasn't seen yet, then it starts to grow upwards, like above ground, and grow, and then with given enough time, this whole entire planet that she planted that seed on will just be corruption. It'll only be corrupted. Everything in there will just be corrupt. She doesn't know about that. She just planted a couple plants and was like, well, I guess it does things. It does plant things. That's cool, I guess. I don't know what to do with it, but cool. She planted a one or two in moons without atmosphere, and it still grows. She planted one in the bottom of the sea someplace. It grew because corruption is. It has no bound. If you can be corrupted, if you're not perfectly neutral or holy as all holiness, you can be corrupted. Unless maybe you're chaotic, like Warhammer 40k, Chaos Gods, and all that stuff. They're already kind of fucked. You can't really corrupt that. Not really. So, perfectly neutral, holiness of all holiness, chaos. Everything else can be corrupted. That plant just corrupts all the shit, and there you go. So that's another thing she's been doing. Yeah, she's been trying to get more magic done. Nothing in that department works because corruption just corrupts her magic anyway, so it just comes out of more corruption. Yay. Oh yeah, another thing. She has learned that because she is corruption, she doesn't need to hold form. That much is obvious. She can already turn into goopy stuff on the ground. But more than that, moreover, she's learned that not because she has a beating heart thanks to her beast-skin DNA, but she can also not have one. She has lungs, but she can live without them. She can actually remove them. Everything inside her own body can just be goo. Or it could be whatever she wants. If she wants this to be a sort of haze and she's just a hard shell, it can. So any kind of actual damage that she takes, she can just be like, I don't like this to hurt. Yep, there we go. Now I can't bleed from the chest because I don't have a chest. That's nifty. So she's learned she can do that. She's also learned that she can do a lot more with whatever little powers that she have, and she's learned that she can quickly lose control of these, and so she's avoiding doing that. I mean, cast horror a little too hard, and it's not just the person right in front of you that's being cast on it, it's the whole people in front of you. If you cast anything such as Wild Magic Burst, well, it's a burst, but then because that magic goes with that magic and it changes that one, everything goes to shit real fast. She's also learned that. She's learned a good amount of things that essentially boils down to don't use your abilities, else you're fucked. Not her specifically, but everything and everyone around her definitely is. So she's not exactly pushing to use her powers, especially because the last few times that you people saw it, People exploded and turned into shit. Also, she had to fight a few creatures of unholy nature because she was like, "Oh, I'll help you." Corrupts it, turns into giant monster. Ah, shoot. Damn it. Why? And then proceeds to get her ass kicked and then kick the shit out of that. So, yeah. She now has the ability to open portals without necessarily needing anything extra. And those portals work in a funky way where she doesn't even really comprehend what the hell is going on. Essentially, what she's doing is she's opening a direct link to corruption. Through corruption, she links herself, which she is corruption, to another place that has corruption. So she can't use that to go in Chaos Worlds or Holiness of All Holiness or like stuff like Death. The Death can't be corrupted. Neutral is all shit. So she can't go do a portal and just go see Death. That's not how that works. But anywhere else, if it has a potential to be corrupted, or if it's already been corrupted, then she can just manifesto a portalo and just and go there. It also helps if she's been there before because she's leaving little traces of corruption everywhere she goes. That's also another thing that I didn't really mention anywhere and I just completely forgot. But whenever Silky is in little slime mode, she leaves corruption that just seeps into the ground. If no one does anything about that in who knows how long, 10 years, 100 years, a million years, 100, who knows? But in some time, corruption will sprout from there and all shit will go fucking. So anyway, that's the fun thing with Silky. And, yeah, she's now more potent than she's ever been, even though she doesn't realize it. And yeah, she's her own limit. At this point, it's all mind games for her. Her own mind can't comprehend that she can just nullify her own limits. And just be like, hey, I can't live this. Wait, I just have to be. And then it's not coming up to her mind, so she's just training and working out like any normal person, but in theory, she just doesn't need to because she could take the form that she wants. She just hasn't realized it yet. Well, that's another thing. Technically, she can shapeshift, but in reality, she hasn't figured it out, and if somebody tries to show it to her by normal means, she won't be able to. She has to find some corrupted way to get that shit going. So that's yet again one more thing that Silky's here and she thinks she's here, you know? Like, and she kinda acts about here. One more thing on the list. Silky hasn't quite figured it out, but she's also sort of figured it out. Does that make sense? Pay attention. So, she has figured out that she can eat just about anything and it doesn't really matter. But she hasn't figured out why she can eat just about anything. In her mind, she can eat anything just because she's a spider and she's a polymorph and logic doesn't apply. In reality, it's just that all the food she's ingesting, if it's too much for her own little spider slash cat stomach, then her body internally turns into corruption and just corrupts the thing and turns it into a goopy liquid thing, and then it just moves on down her stomach and does its thing. So, here's a couple more things concerning Silky and her shenanigans. The planet. She is from the Corrupted Swamp. That's the name of the place she's from, as you most likely know. The swamp was maybe, I don't know, 5% of the whole planet. But since Silky's been growing and she's been feeding that thing, just grabbing shit, throwing it out there, and just keeping the cycle and growing what's in there, planting stuff, planting seeds, making the animals that go in feel better, instead of having the ecosystem collapse on itself because everything's trying to kill each other, taking care of it, no, 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 you take care, no, 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 you be good, you'll behave, if I feed you, just blah, 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 being very motherly, to the nature, the fauna, the flora, and all that stuff, it's been growing tremendously. So much so that the corrupted nature of the swamp is now roughly 30% of the whole planet, without her even realizing what she's doing. It's not a swamp everywhere. In fact, the swamp itself has not grown. The swamp itself is even a bit less swampy. There's more ground to it. They've took some trees down. They've made a little village with all the little people that she's been taking care of. So they have little huts, houses, and all that. So there's less swamp, a little bit, and so much more corruption. And she's not even aware of it because she doesn't really travel that far. At this rate, if this keeps going as it is, she will corrupt the entire planet just by helping it out, which is no bueno for the inhabitants of that planet, which is known for its adventurers and all the things that goes with it. Go out, kill the corrupted whatever, or even just any kind of monster, mobs. Kill, get some XP, get some coins, go back to the village, get rewards, blah blah blah. She's not helping that. In fact, the human population over there is gonna diminish real quick with all this stuff, but she doesn't know and she can't foresee any of that. One more thing. Silky is 10 years old at this point. You may remember when I started all of this, she was 3 years old. So, lo and behold, when I made the character, she was 2 and some months, almost 3 years old, as a spider. And I was leaving her to be a spider. Spiders live, depending on the species, roughly 8 to 13 years. And at 2-ish, 3-ish years, she was mature. She was an adult and she was just doing her things. And that was fine. And then she became a beastkin by polymorph. And now she is, depending how you see it, she's still a 3-year-old beastkin in the body of a 2 to 15, transmute that to whatever, so probably 19, 20, 21 years old, but the mindset of a 2 or 3 years old, it makes stuff very fucking complicated. She's done the Dragon Ball Z thing with the,
hyperbolic time chamber. What the f*** is that?
that, and so now she's 10 years old. And everybody, we've all acknowledged, like me and all the people around her, that she's 10 years old and that's the age that she really is and has lived. As opposed to, oh, she's 3 years old, but she's the equivalent of blah blah blah. It makes everything fucking fucky wucky. Well, fuck this shit. She's 10, she has lived 10 years despite what her body does, despite how the equivalents may be. No. I am personally not for or against that. I'm just a bit iffy by having a minor character. I want her to be an adult, but I also want it to make sense. And I want that transition to be worthwhile. So for the time being, she is a minor, she's 10 years old, and that's whatever it is. I am planning stuff to get her up to speed to be an adult. I want to say soon, but let's be honest, things will be what they are and it'll take a while. I will be more comfortable with the character. This is kind of why I'm using her less, because I'm less comfortable with, me being an adult, her not really being and being like, hey, look, I'm a child. I'm not really a fan of it. The point is that the character was only supposed to be a joke at first for Halloween, and then, like, a month later, oh, okay, well, it's November, trash that, move on. And it just escalated to what it is, and, well, adapt and overcome, and voila. It is what it is, and I love Silky. I don't want to get rid of her. I don't want to change any of that shit. But, if I'm being completely honest, I want her to be an adult now. It would feel better for me. But I don't want to rush anything, and I certainly don't want to just... She's an adult! There we go! I want it to make sense. And I am looking, I have a plan to make that happen. It should be really cool, and it will also be obvious that she is an adult. It will be complete change in personality, in physique, in behavior, in all kinds of ways. But for that, I need to eat one, make sense in character. Two, I need the money. And three, I need to plan all the stuff to make that happen. Map NPCs, blah blah blah. I kind of want to grow a community. I kind of want to grow stuff so that they can help me out, make that a reality. That would be really cool. And from there, I will be able to achieve what I really want to achieve, and that's gonna take a lot of time. And so, yeah. I also don't want to push my agenda down other people's throat because that would not be cool. It's not what I want to do. I don't want to use anybody. I don't want to be like, please help me make the. So, I'm taking my time. I'm not forcing anybody. I'm planning slowly for this and so many other things. So, bear with me if you're like, but Ziff is doing weird stuff. Yeah, Ziff is aware. Ziff is fully aware. Ziff is trying to make that less funky. So, she's 10 years old because
Hype-Ebola Mind Chamber.
No.
Hyperglycemic Crime Chamber.
You get one more.
Hypebonics Rhyme Chamber.
And yeah, and during that time, nobody seems to have noticed the gap between all this, which is fine. I just find it funny. And with all that said, that pretty much concludes the whole tour of what you've missed with Silky. Yeah, I'll see you in the next video. It should be as mediocre as all the other ones. Oh hey, how you doing? Did you enjoy the video? Was it good? Yeah? It was? Alright, cool. Well, I mean, I do a whole lot of that. Like, yeah. Constantly. Well, no, that's right. It's not constant at all. But, you know, I try. So if you like that, I mean, keep watching. There's gonna be more like this, and there's already more like this. And if you enjoy more of that, maybe you wanna subscribe, you know? Because, why not? You're already enjoying it. That being said, thank you. Thank you very much. And I'll see you around. Alright, bye.